Have you ever received a massive compliment, a promotion you worked incredibly hard for, or a top grade, and instead of feeling proud, your chest immediately tightened? You smiled, you said thank you, but inside, a massive blaring alarm bell went off. They have made a terrible mistake. I shouldn't be here. You suddenly feel an overwhelming urge to apologize for your own success. If you constantly feel like you're just one tiny slip-up away from being a complete and utter fraud, you are not alone. In fact, you're probably just highly competent. Let's unbox why your brain is actively trying to convince you that you don't deserve your own success, and how to permanently shut off that alarm.
Welcome back. Today, we are doing a deep dive into imposter syndrome. It is that nagging, heavy, exhausting feeling that everything you've achieved is just a random mix of good timing, blind luck, and you somehow managing to trick everyone around you into thinking you're smart. But here is the craziest part about this psychological trap. This feeling doesn't happen to people who actually are faking it. Actual con artists do not have imposter syndrome. It almost exclusively targets the people who are trying the hardest and caring the most. Let's unbox exactly how this works.
Let's start by looking at how this plays out in real life. Picture this scene. Boxley just crushed a major presentation at work. The room is clapping. His boss walks over, pats him on the shoulder and says, "Brilliant job, Boxley. You are a natural at this." On the outside, Boxley is smiling, nodding, looking like the absolute picture of professional confidence. But let's listen to his inner monologue for a second. "Oh no, they don't know the real me. I just got incredibly lucky they didn't ask about the data on slide 4. Any day now, someone is going to figure out I have absolutely no idea what I am doing. That whole presentation, I literally Googled how to sound smart in corporate meetings the night before. I am a total scam artist." This right here is the core of the imposter experience. You completely lose the ability to internalize your own wins. Every single time you succeed, instead of adding it to your mental resume and feeling good, you categorize it as a complete fluke. You live your life in constant simmering fear of the unmasking, the imaginary, terrifying moment where a spotlight hits you, the music stops, and everyone points and laughs because they finally see you're not as smart as they thought you were. So why does our brain do this to us? Let's peel back the layers. Layer 1 is a glitch in confidence. You've probably heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people who don't know much act incredibly confident because they don't know what they're missing. Imposter syndrome is the exact opposite. Because you are smart, you see how vast and complex things really are. You know how much you don't know, so your brain tricks you into feeling inadequate. Drop a comment right now if you've ever felt this exact way, and stick around because the fix is coming up. Layer 2 is about how we assign credit. Psychologists call this attribution theory. A person without imposter syndrome says, "I worked hard, I earned this." But an imposter's wiring is backwards. If you succeed, you immediately blame it on luck. The teacher just went easy on me. If you fail, you think it's a permanent flaw. I failed because I am just fundamentally stupid. Layer 3 takes us back to 1978. Psychologists first named this the imposter phenomenon after studying high-achieving women. Despite having massive proof of their brilliance, like PhDs and industry awards, these women genuinely believed they weren't smart. Their brains literally rejected the data. They couldn't accept their own excellence, convinced they'd eventually be exposed as fakes. Now, society's favorite cure for this is honestly the worst advice ever given. You've heard it a million times. Fake it till you make it. Just act confident. Let's watch Boxley try this terrible advice. He puts on his power suit, stands tall, puffs out his chest, and projects fake confidence. Does he feel better? Absolutely not. He feels infinitely worse. Why? Because imposter syndrome is inherently a deep, terrifying fear of being a liar. If you force yourself to act like someone you are not, you are actually faking it now. You have just validated your brain's deepest fear. You are literally giving your anxiety hardcore evidence that you really are putting on an act. Suppressing the feeling, pasting on a fake smile, and pretending you have zero doubts doesn't cure the imposter. It feeds it. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world when we let it control us. Imagine two identical roundheads. Both are highly qualified for a massive new project at work. Roundhead A is paralyzed by the imposter cycle. He looks at the job requirements, instantly assumes everyone else in the office knows more than him, and quietly withdraws his name. He stays safe in his comfort zone, but he stays completely stagnant. Now look at Roundhead B. He feels the exact same terror. His chest is tight. He has the same knot in his stomach telling him he's a fraud. But Roundhead B understands that feeling like an imposter is just a temporary emotional weather system. It is a feeling, not a fact. He steps up and takes the project anyway. The difference between success and stagnation isn't the absence of fear. It's the refusal to let a false belief dictate your choices. So, how do we actually fix this? You don't need another generic motivational pep talk. You need a concrete system. Here is your 3-step anti-imposter framework. It's time to rewire how your brain processes success. Step 1. The evidence portfolio. Your brain is acting like a hostile witness. It actively deletes your wins, so you must externalize them. Create a physical folder on your desk or a dedicated note on your phone. Every single time you get a nice email, a good grade, a compliment, or solve a hard problem, screenshot it, save it. When the imposter voice gets loud at 2 a.m., you don't argue with it emotionally. You open the file and look at the cold, hard, undeniable data of your competence. Step 2. Normalizing failure. Imposters think one single mistake ruins the whole facade, so intentionally break the facade yourself. Set a goal to fail at one small, low-stakes thing every single week. Ask a question in a meeting that you think is dumb. Submit a first draft that is only 80% perfect. Let your brain realize that the world does not literally end when you aren't flawless. Step 3. The mentor mirror. Find someone you deeply admire, a senior boss, a professor, an older friend who has their life together. Ask them this exact question. Do you ever feel like you have no idea what you're doing? The answer will shock you. Spoiler alert, they do. Realizing that the people you think are untouchable geniuses also feel like frauds instantly destroys the illusion that you're uniquely broken.
Here is the truth you need to remember. Imposter syndrome isn't a sign that you are a fake. It is often the ultimate proof that you are growing, pushing your boundaries, and stepping into rooms where you are genuinely challenged. The goal of life isn't to never feel like an imposter again. The goal is to feel it, recognize the faulty wiring in your brain, and do the hard thing anyway. You belong exactly where you are. If this video helped you untangle your brain today, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and check out our deep dive on why you can't stop overthinking. I will see you in the next one.